Hello, and welcome back to another brand new Tales from my Backlog, where today I am continuing on with the Predator franchise, reviewing The Predator. So, yeah, I was very hesitant going into this film, and that is simply because when I read the synopsis on Google about this film, it made mention of the main character, the main protagonist, son being autistic, and I was hesitant about that because Hollywood doesn't have the best track record when it comes to properly portraying people with autism, and they just go for the bare bones of it. They don't. I don't think they do the research and stuff. And unfortunately, that was the case for this. But I will get to that. So, aside from the autism side of things, which the main thing that I didn't like about this film, the rest, however, I thought wasn't bad. I was going into this with under the impression that this was pretty bad for a film that came out in 2018. Hell, even on Letterboxd, it has a 2.1 out of 5 rating on it, uh, and a lot of it is like negative rating, very few positive ratings. And I was pleasantly surprised that I actually enjoyed the action side of things, the interesting plot as well of how like it was evolving the predators in a sense. There was a lot more jokes in this than any of the other Predator films, and like I laughed at a few of the jokes. We have Keaton Michael Keel in this, who's a well-known comedian. Um, and a lot of his jokes land and stuff. Um, so yeah, like I said, I found the action very very good. I enjoyed it. I loved the gore and the interesting ways of taking out some of the people. I also love that this is the one to introduce us to the what I like to call the Targs of the Predator universe, the Predator dogs. I'm sure they have an official name. I'm not sure if they appeared in comics before this film. I think they might have appeared in comics before this film, or even in the last film. I think I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched Predators, and interesting design, but I still think of them as like the Klingon Targs from Star Trek. Just the look and feel of them essentially. But yeah, not bad design. So one of my favorite kills was with the new 11-foot um, predator when he went to take out a soldier. He basically used his claw and stuck it up, and it went through a guy's nards, went straight through the crotch, and that I really enjoy that because that was I like that painful way to go, getting a claw straight through your manhood. Um, that's one way of getting circumcised, I guess. Um, but yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed most of the characters, in this. There was one line that I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely like a heavy reference to the first Predator film because the new main character in this one, in like the first half hour when the hybrid Predator is breaking out after he detects the other side of the Predators looking for him, the new main character says, "Get to the chopper," which I thought was like actual chopper, but no, it was like chopper as in bike, motorcycle. Which I thought that was a nice reference to Arnie. He's been referenced nearly in every of the Predator films. He was definitely referenced in Predator 2. not so kind of as a one-off in Predators, and even in this film, Predator One and Predator Two gets mentioned. No mention of predators, but I guess they weren't going to make mention of that since that takes place off world. But yeah, as I said, I really like what they try to do with the predators. It's one predator being hunted by another because uh, a group of predators decided to genetically modify themselves. Uh, with DNA, like we in the beginning of the film, we find out that the first predator that crash landed, who then became the 11-foot predator, um, has human DNA, and we learned that basically the reason why they've been ramping up their hunts on this planet is because some predators see us as endangered species because of climate control and climate change, and so they want to obviously get their trophies to modify themselves. And I like that there is that splinter cells. Half of the predators are all for this, and then the other half are against it, which is why we have one predator hunting the other at the and actually leaving behind um, something that will uh, help the humans essentially at the end of the film. Uh, Unfortunately, that's probably not going to amount to much because after this film came out, the next Predator film was Prey, and I think Prey is getting a sequel. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. Um, but probably the big MacGuffin of a predator-like suit designed to stop these new uh, styles of predators, it's probably not going to get mentioned again, if at all. Which sucks because it's an interesting idea. The same with that governments are trying to they are aware of the predators and that they are trying to salvage as much of their technology as they feasibly can. So I enjoyed that, and I was surprised that I actually enjoyed this film, except, and this is where I'm gonna have to come back to this, except for uh, Rory, the son, who's autistic, Asperger's, but in today's modern age, it'd be classed as autism level 2, which is what I was diagnosed a whole year ago as of recording this. I'm recording this on the 3rd of January, which was that actually marks a year since I was officially diagnosed with autism. Um, so yeah, Hollywood has this way of poorly portraying people with autism. They see a certain way for it and they run with it. And it's usually used for butts of jokes or stuff like that, and it's not used well, you know, unfortunately. And large, large in part now, I didn't look it up, so I don't know if the actor who played Rory was indeed autistic. Um, but usually when autistic characters are being portrayed in media, TV shows and films, the large in part are probably not played by anyone on the spectrum. They play it decently well. I mean, like, look at Jim Parsons, who plays Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory, as well as the actor who plays the young Sheldon counterpart. They play autistic surprisingly well. Benedict Cumberbatch can play autism really, really well, as I discovered last year when I watched oh, it wasn't the Theory of Everything, The Imitation Game, um, when he played Alan Tudyk. Now, Alan Tudyk may not have been autistic himself, but the way um, Cumberbatch portrayed him in that film made me look at it through the lens of this. he's playing it the character as someone with autism. Now, in this film, Rory is not a character. In a sense, he's basically used as a plot device, and it is infuriating that that's all he's really there for, and it's stereotyped to all hell. Like when he's in school, he's fidgeting and stuff. Now I can't really speak for everyone. I can only speak for my own experiences, uh, as I'm actually discovering them now that I have been fully diagnosed. Uh, some of this stuff just doesn't, like, it feels like they just looked at the basic traits and ran with it. The constant fidgeting, the eidetic memory, being able to memorize everything. I can guarantee you, not every autistic person has that trait. I sure as shit don't. I have the memory of a fucking goldfish sometimes. I barely remember waking up this morning. I barely remember half of the shit I did today. And then the kid is somehow able to hack into the predator systems and fully be able to understand it. This is alien technology, and this kid can somehow hack into it. That doesn't make any sense. And then he's seen as a prize at the end of the film for this new genetically altered predator because the kid's autistic. That's it. That's the only reason why he wanted him. The predator wanted this boy was because of his autism, and they were going to use that to evolve the predator species further. And it bothers me. It even bothers me when he's referred to as a retard in the film. Um, towards the end of the film, he's literally referred to as a retard. He's like, oh, one of the characters like, oh, don't say that. He has a kid that's retarded. This film came out in 2018. I thought, using the word retard to say about someone who's neurodivergent is a no go. I could be wrong, but hey, as someone who is someone who is retarded, you know, uh, that didn't fly well with me. I'm sorry, it did not fly well with me, and I tried to ignore it, and I did ignore it for the most part of my enjoyment of the film, and I shouldn't have to. I really shouldn't have to ignore this because Hollywood just won't cast it right. Or people with autism are seen as the butt of the joke. Again, going back to the Big Bang Theory, like Sheldon isn't Jim Parsons plays him with as an autistic person. You can see it in the way Sheldon acts throughout the entirety of the show. Yes, it is dumbed down slightly towards the end, but it's always seen as the butt of the joke. And even Chuck Lorre said no, he's not autistic. He just wrote him this way as a fucking joke to be the butt of the joke. And I'm sick of it. I'm also sick of non-autistic people playing autistic characters. That I get it, they're actors, they're acting, but I would like to see and so on the actual neurotypical scale play that part. But that's just me, and that's just the one part of the film that I just really did not like. Everything else I enjoyed, surprisingly enough. But that is going to wrap this video up. The next video will be on Friday, which will be my review of the classic Doctor Who episode Robot, Tom Baker's first story. And then at some point later on this year, I will, of course, review Prey as the last Predator film that I have to record as of the 3rd of January. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of The Predator in the comments down below. I shall see you all